optimism that you've been giving me for all these years is starting to come to light. I used to think you was like a top gooner and delusional and him. You know what I mean? For all these years we've been like, you know, this delusion like Ryan and you, and it's all coming to fruition.
Listen, that was impressive last night.
I'm having to like...
Yeah.
Like, I'm finishing streams, I'm turning it off, I'm going, are we the best team in the world? Like, maybe Christian was right.
Christian was right the other day. No, because Christian said the other day, at this moment in time...
Well, that was the thing.
He did say that. He didn't say
and he's right.
And he's right. Well, go on, people, and welcome along to another episode of Fourever Arsenal. And as you can tell, we're all in a good mood today because Arsenal have won again. We've got Jack back in the building.
We're back.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you back, Jack.
Lee Judges and, of course, Curtis Shaw.
Go on, the Suman Dogs Aria. Well done.
You know what, actually, before we even get started on the game, you are an absolute disgrace. Salute the proper fans, the proper fans.
Although I was at home, though, to be
clear. He was at home, but listen, proper fans can be at home.
Yeah, they can,
Proper fans can be at home. But this guy, let's start with him. Yeah?
He's changed, honestly.
He's changed.
He's changed, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Now, before each game, we do a starting 11 show, right? And, you know, we need to be here an hour and a half before the game to do the starting 11 reveal and that. My man rings me up, no, Robbie, sorry, can't make it. And both me and you have been invited to a meal before the game in the,
this is on the Monday, I'm telling this.
Okay.
We're invited.
We're making out like you rang him last
right.
We're invited to a meal. You know, what I mean, hospitality and stuff like that. You know, I said, Lee, I can't do that. I've got a starting 11 show to do, right? And plus, I'm proper Arsenal. You know what I mean? You can't hold it. I'm proper Arsenal. I don't want to be eating no prawn sandwiches and that before such an important game. And I've got work to do within here. Then I see him after the game, as we say you know the saying in Jamaica, lean up.
Yeah.
Man had obviously had a lot to drink, right? Was there sort of like, if you even watch his interview, look at his eyes.
Oh, no.
That's the telltale, that's the telltale sign, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here was another person, right? Absolutely pissed out of his head, right? To use the terms, right? I called him, I said to Jack, Jack, after the game, I go, do you want to come on and do an interview? Yeah, Robbie, you know. I'm going to be talking about it tomorrow, innit? I'm Forever Awesome. Maybe you'd be better off getting them other guys on. Get Marty on, get this on. This guy, he could hardly stand up.
In my fairness, I didn't want to do a Lee, so Lee's gone on, and you can tell straight away what he's been up to last night. I wanted to, you know, keep it off the camera.
Look at that.
You can see what Lee's been
Winterburn.
up to.
Eating prawn sandwiches with Nigel Winterburn and drinking champagne at the game. Now,
I'll rate it. I'll rate it though. You know what I mean? You've come a long way.
When I first met him, he'd have a beer in his hand.
A beer in the toilet.
He'd be a proper Arsenal, but now he's changed.
That's proper.
Yeah, this United fan, by the way.
Listen,
I saw that video as well.
Oh, well, it's all bad.
You see that video?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, Robbie, Luton fan, yeah? I had a soft spot for Man United. I'm like, what?
I ain't seen that.
Bro, you're a disgrace.
United as well.
Listen, in my defence, big up to Mark and Power Up for sorting that out. Like, we met all the Arsenal bigwigs yesterday. It was fantastic. Big up to Nigel. Come and sat with us for most of the night, like, really talking Arsenal and all that. Brilliant night. So big up to Mark. You know what I mean? Like, he is a disgrace, by the way. Like, you know what I mean? We had all his tickets and all lined up, and then he said, "I can't make it.
I've got to work, bro.
I'm in a meeting." He says,
I had a meeting.
Like,
exactly. I had a meeting.
He has more meetings. I don't know.
He has meetings about meetings, don't he?
Apparently, like, he has meetings when he has his Sunday dinner. Like, I don't know if that's
I had
true.
A meeting and I had to work. We had to do, the starting 11 show, which went very well despite you not being there. Yeah, Kenya yet again having to fill in.
Yeah, she done. I have to say, I did see it. She, like, you know, she is good, and I'm going to say now, Kenya is the best Lyle. You know what I mean? I'm going to say that now.
It's not difficult, is it?
No, not difficult.
You'd had a few, man.
Come on, Jack. Why did you have a few?
You're right this morning.
I mean, I've been to see us play Bayern Munich every single time at the Emirates, every home game from when I was younger till now, and I've seen us win once. Mesut Ozil are just over the line, so I've seen us lose a lot. I remember the 10-2 aggregate, 5-1.
Yeah, so I do.
We were sat in the crowd singing "We've got the ball" for like most of the game. We've lost the ball. We've got the ball. It was everyone were laughing when we were conceding. We were sort of all giving up. To go there last night and literally just tear them apart, especially that second half, literally just looked like they were the small team coming to us. For the first time in my lifetime anyway, that quote from Gazidis back in the day, we're here to compete with the likes of Bayern Munich. I think last night was like the culmination of that. We finally are we can consider ourselves in that elite bracket where Bayern Munich can't really chat to us at the Emirates. And I mean, it might have gone to my head a little bit. Might have seen the Asahis in the old concourse. You know, it's a bit...
Champagne
nothing against Camden Hills, but I think the Asahis, you know, they're a bit nicer. So yeah, I might have had a few last night. Yeah.
Not as nice as champagne, I've got to say.
Yeah, at least I did it the proper way. We've got Dubai over here. We've got Chloe Kelly in the Baller League. We've got private champagne dinners.
Totally changed, man. It's not the same. It's not the same guy, Jack, that I met.
And do you know what?
You know what I mean?
The worst bit about it, right? I gets on the train station yesterday, right? Only train's gone again, and I've had to get a bus replacement. I got home at 2 o'clock last night.
I'm surprised you're willing to mix it with people.
I know, like,
good.
You know,
That's what time I got.
My transport this week has been horrendous.
Just drive, man.
I wouldn't have been out with all that.
It's about easier to drink.
But I'll tell you what, and I'm going to big up the bus replacement driver yesterday. Like, you know what I mean? Like working like that time of night. And it ain't easy. You ain't like, it's not straight. He's going in and around, getting to train stations because he has to stop at every train station. But oh my God! And it's all little. He done well. And I weren't sick or nothing. He was good. Like I was.
Oh yeah, your motion sickness.
I was worried about that. I gets into it. It was like an oven. Like I felt like turkey at Christmas when I walked in there. Like, you know. And I thought, I'm going to struggle on here. Like, you know. And my mate Russ, the first thing I says to him, right? I says to him, it's an hour and a half journey, like, I'll get a good bit of sleep now, like, you know what I mean? Just as I'm going, and what was you reckon of that guy? He didn't stop talking about the game all the time. I never got one wink of sleep, thanks to you, Russ, you know what I mean? And I'm up, and here on time this morning.
Yeah.
Big up the judge!
In the VIP with you as well, Russ?
Nah.
Oh, it's not. He looks after his friends, isn't it?
Do you know what he does? Do you know what I've got to say? Big up to Jenny as well, right? Because she'd made us sausage sandwiches, right? Sausage rolls for when we get home. But because we didn't get home till 1 o'clock, she come out at 1:30 at night in her pyjamas, right? You know what I mean? And give me the sausage roll so I could have this morning, like, you know what I mean? What? That's friendship.
That's commitment.
Commitment, man. Commitment. But listen, everybody watched the game in a different way, but that was a great game yesterday. That was, you know, we you know what, right, as well, even before we get stuck into the game, man, I don't know about you guys, right, the last few days have been amazing, right, because it's not just the fact that won the North London derby, beat Bayern, who, you know, a top side, right, and then on top of that, yet again, for 2 games in a row, Spurs lost, Liverpool lost, and City lost. I'm like, you know, this isn't too good, man. I mean, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this.
And the worst thing is, when I'm hearing that Liverpool are losing now, I'm not even surprised. Yeah. Like, they're like, 3-1
at home.
Van Dijk's playing basketball, you know what I mean?
It was 1-1 at half time.
1-1 at half time, and then
4-1.
I didn't know.
And Tottenham were beating PSG at one stage.
Yeah, they were beating PSG 2-1.
Vitinha hat-trick.
Yeah,
in the end.
Like, did you see the hat-trick?
Oh, that goals, one man. Off the bar. I was like, oh my days.
And the thing that made me laugh is that Thomas Frank was saying, you know, really good performance, much better, fight and that. Bro, you conceded 5. Yeah. Like, when we were getting beaten 5-2 and stuff like that by Bayern, we were getting slated. Yeah. This man's saying it's a oh yeah, you know, good performance. No, it's not. You can. These Tottenham fans who was telling us about Van der Ven and Romero, and they get in Arsenal's you've conceded in the last 2 games 8 goals. Those 2. It's more PSG
and 2 the game before.
Champions of Europe, they said. Yeah. No, you played the champions of Europe yesterday. Yeah. It's true. They're the champions of Europe.
They played well.
And you played them. Yeah, you did well. You know what I mean? They conceded 5 goals, right? And that's without Dembele and Doué and Hakimi. Yeah. Oh, listen, man. You know what I mean? This is the real thing now. Tottenham fans, he's not Bodo Glimt in a semi-final or a substandard Man United in a final. This is the Champions League now. And for me, they've had quite an easy group.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
Got 8 points. Is it 8 points they've got?
Right, so it's just been
again.
the last few days, right, have been amazing.
And I've got to say also, like, I know it's all that Inter lost as well, which meant that we was the only we're the only unbeaten team. And if you look at it now, I know it sounds silly, and I want us to go through as unbeaten, but we can afford to lose a game and still be in the top 2.
Yeah, and if you look at the last 3 games, it's Bruges away, who also lost last night.
We can get it done in the next 2 games.
They got beat last night 3-0 at Sporting. We got Inter, who also, as you just said, lost, and finished off with that team Carrot.
Yeah.
Come on,
Bruges and Carrot.
We're basically through.
Yeah, that's important. I think last season teams
Carrot, what's their name? Carrot
or something. Wasn't it last season that teams 16 points definitely got you into that top 8?
Yeah. And we're on 15.
Yeah.
15.
So, but I know, guys, man, that was good.
I don't think I've watched so much content as the last 3 or 4 days. I've watched every Eze interview from Tottenham, every angle, the bench cam, the extended highlights, the full game. I don't think I slept till about 3 a.m. Yeah, I don't know about you, don't you? Your adrenaline going after the game. It feels like you played the game, don't it? Just unreal, man.
And can I say, I'm going to say this now. Declan Rice. I'm going to say it. I think to myself, you cannot get any better and higher in my standards than you just can't. And then yesterday he goes and does it again. He goes up in my estimation.
Done it again.
He done it again. He only went and smashed Harry Kane yesterday. How can this guy get any better? And he goes and does something. He must sit there getting on the coach and going, how can I get the fans to love me more than what I can? Well, I don't think you can, Declan. And then all of a sudden, he smashes Harry Kane yesterday, and he gives it. He's gone up in my. He's gone up in my estimations, even more.
He was phenomenal. He's one of the best midfielders in the world now, isn't he?
Yeah, I think
you know what as well.
I think he is.
I didn't see him going into this 8 role. You know, when he went there, I was like, nah, he's a 6. I don't know if he's got that attacking side of his game. So fair play to Mikel, because he's unbelievable in this role now. I actually thought Zubimendi played a good support role for him yesterday. Yeah, really good.
They spoke about each other last night on CBS or something. They asked Declan, is playing with Zubimendi freed you up a little bit more this season? And he literally turned around and said he's the number 6 for Spain. If you want a number 6 in your team, you want the Spain number 6. He said the way he receives the ball, the way he's on the turn, quick release him, find his space. He said playing next to him makes his job so much easier. And I don't know if you remember when Declan used to play in the pivot with Jorginho sometimes. Obviously when Partey was out sometimes. And I've always thought that looked really good, him sitting with sort of a controller next to him. So now he's got that consistently with Zubimendi. I think we've seen the best of him. But I think, again, I think he's the best in the world. I don't think I think you can name Bellingham's, Vatinas, whoever you want to name in midfield or etc. I'm taking Declan. I think we don't like to get carried away, but I don't know if it's nostalgia and stuff, but we think about people like Patrick Vieira and we look back and we go, yeah, he won us the Invincibles and the league titles and what he done for us. But if we win the league this season, we win the Champions League this season and look back what Declan Rice is doing, like you're saying, he's not losing. I don't think he's lost the North London derby. He's playing amazing every single game. Big games, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, he's turning up. If he can add titles to this, he's going to 100% go down as probably one of the greatest midfielders we've ever had, in my opinion.
Well, it's a big statement. And I tell you what, he's in the conversation in my mind. You know what I mean? You talk legends like Steven Gerrard. You know what I mean? I relate him to Brian Robson at Man United, that sort of player,
You like United, don't you?
Probably had posters of Robson on his wall, didn't he?
No, I never liked. Let me get that straight about Man United. When I watched my first real I can remember the FA Cup final was Man United versus Southampton. And I don't know nothing about football at that. I'm a kid, and I just liked. I just felt sorry for Man United. I didn't know who they really were and all that, because they lost to Southampton, And then the following year they won against Liverpool, which was 77. And I did have I really liked Stuart Pearson, you know what I mean? And got to meet him as well, And so I like that. But I didn't have an affinity to any side at that stage because I was a kid. And then my dad took me to the Arsenal, and that was the end of that. There's your story. It ain't even a story, like, do you know what I mean? But the old Luton fan over there trying to make it like it is. You know what I mean?
I will say there's a bit of a deflection tactic there. I don't know if there's a bit of a story.
we're not too convinced of it.
Jack, I thought you was and I just picked you up today.
Notice how he was stuttering when he was
saying
it
was a bit of mumbling.
But I think so. You know when you sort of like a player, and Stuart Pearson was one of the first players that I really did like.
Do you have a shirt?
No. I did have a Man United kit. No, I didn't.
Met him as well, eh?
No, I didn't have it. No, but yeah. So, but Brian Wright, I'm getting back to it.
Yeah.
Like that sort of player, energy, box to box. Declan Rice is that like, you know?
Do you think he should be the Arsenal captain? Because I do. I know people don't like that conversation, but when he had the armband on yesterday, I just thought that looks so right on it.
It was interesting because Saka put it on him, didn't he? But as soon as Odegaard come off, he put it on him. He put it on him, didn't he? Like, you know what I mean?
He said the other day, didn't he, that Odegaard's the captain and they'll respect him and stuff like that. That's what Declan was saying. But you know, I don't think it matters, man. The guy you can see clearly is a leader. You know what I mean? Like yesterday, there was occasions when the team just needed a little something. You know, like not that they're playing bad, but and he just picked the ball up. Go on a little run, drive it. Like it lifts the team, it lifts the crowd. He wins every duel. You know what I mean? Like he wins every tackle.
I think they're the things
timing
you
of
can't
his
measure.
tackles.
Like it's not a stat, but like you said, when he grabs the ball and just runs. When you're in the stadium, like the amount of energy that gives to the fans, the whole stadium's on their feet, and I think that's not something you can measure by a goal or an assist or something like that. But I remember the point when he ran through, and I think he tried to slip it in the bottom corner, and the keeper saved it. But he must have run like 30 yards to get to that position. The whole stadium were on their feet, egging him on. And I think that sort of energy in them big games is so crucial. So like for him to have them moments is worth more than a lot.
There was one time he picked the ball up and he was running. It didn't come to nothing. It was 30, 40 yards. And the defender's sprinting with him. And he can't catch him. And he's got the ball. You know what I mean? Like the athleticism of him is incredible. It's incredible. I can't.
I think we've now got players in the team where you can say he's one of the best players in the world. Like I think Timber is now the best right back in the world at the moment. Hakimi and him, but Hakimi's injured. You know, Rice, one of the best midfielders. Saliba, I think Saliba's shown real leadership in the last two games.
Stepped up, hasn't he?
Two different partners, and again Mosquera. It was just seamless transition again, wasn't it? And Capie comes in, plays really well. Mosquera steps in. You're thinking, this guy Berta, man, honestly, he is a magician. How did he get him for £13 million? Some of the signings that he made in the summer. Think about all them transfer daily summers you've done, and we've ended the summer going, we didn't get enough. This summer we actually got what we needed.
And smart signings as well, when you contrast it with what's going on at Liverpool, you know what I mean? Everybody thought, wow, they've won the window, amazing signings, big money spent. But at the end of the day, you know, their signings haven't really worked out. All of ours have worked out so far, you know what I mean? Like, even I was looking at a game yesterday, I was like, oh, there's I think I've done my ratings, I gave him like a 7. But then you look, he did have a big impact as well, because look at that pass for the Martinelli's goal, you know what I mean? Like, everybody is stepping up, and, you know, Christian, who obviously did the watch-along yesterday, and big up to Christian. About a month ago, he was getting absolutely mocked. I remember Sky messaged me, they said, yeah, Robbie, can we use the clip of Christian saying that at this moment in time, Arsenal are the best team in the world, right? And I knew their angle. I said, yeah, you can use it, but I knew that they're looking to
mock him
really, right? But you know, and there was loads of people that, you know, it went viral. Everybody's, you know, having a laugh and say, he's right. We proved it last night because remember, Bayern Munich up until that game unbeaten. They haven't lost a game this season, right? And, you know, I know some people say, yeah, but actually in the German league. But remember, Bayer Leverkusen are in the German league. They beat City the night before. It doesn't matter that City made changes. They beat them 2-0 at the Etihad, right? And Bayern this season, it's not just been in Germany. They've also taken apart Chelsea, remember? They took apart Barca. You know, they have been delivering game after game. Harry Kane's been scoring goals for fun. Elise. We humbled a top side. And you saw by how they played in that first half, they are a top side, right? You could see that was a heavyweight clash in that first half. You know what I mean? Two top teams going at it, right? But I think at this moment in time, and let's have that, make sure that's said, because we still got a long, long way to go. But at this moment in time, Arsenal, for me, I don't see a better team in Europe. I watched Barcelona the other night against Chelsea. I'm like, we beat them. They you know, we. At this moment in time, I think we'd beat Real Madrid. I think we beat PSG. We beaten Bayern. I wouldn't be fearful of any of those teams. I'd be respectful. They can, you know, small margins on any given day you can lose to any team. But I just think at this moment in time, the amount of different weapons that Arsenal have, whether it be set pieces, whether it be open play, whether it be like in the first half where we sit a little bit deeper and say, all right, we're going to be a bit more organised, whether we go out on the attack like we did against Spurs. We've got a bit of everything.
I think Company even said last night that like the massive issue was when we made the subs, he said there's no difference in quality between what they were taking off the pitch to what they were bringing on, and he said that affected it massively.
Exactly, and Jack, right, that's without, you know, think of the play.
Yeah,
we've got no, very effectively,
no
people realise we've got no striker at the moment.
Striker.
3 strikers out. Which other team would be able to cope with that?
No.
Right, 3 strikers out.
Best centre half.
Our best centre half is missing, right?
A captain.
Right. Martin Odegaard's been out. He's only just come back. Madueke just came back. Imagine if, right, for the second half of the season, we can get those players back. So imagine if we, you know, this is hypothetical, but if we could have a runner game, say, from January to the end of the season, where we've kind of got literally the full complement of players to pick from, we're going to be serious if that happens.
The only downside yesterday was Trossard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like, you know, it's always like, you know, he's been in excellent form, and then he comes to. So you think, right, we've got Madueke and we've got Martinelli back, and we've now lost Trossard. I don't really know what is it, but
apparently he just felt something, and they didn't want to take a chance. So they took him off. But then even that last season, he wouldn't have come off probably.
No,
all right, you felt something, but we need you.
Options,
See how you get until the end of the game. Yeah. Now with the options, they can say, well, you know what, you felt something, straight off.
Yeah.
We don't know how serious it's going to be. Could be out for the weekend, but at least we're able to do that now. This squad, and we haven't had the full complement to choose from. We've not had the full. If we have that for a consistent basis for a couple of months, where you can say, right, you know, actually, you rest, we're starting, or like you said, the finishers that we're able to bring on.
And they were brilliant.
We'd be formidable.
I thought Martin, you know, listen, at the end of it, you know, I agree with it. I think we are the best team in Europe, if you want to go like, or world or whatever at this moment in time, because leagues don't lie, positions don't lie. Top of the Champions League at this moment in time, top of the Premier League. But what was the greatest thing yesterday is that Bayern Munich, very, very good. I thought we out-tacticked them in the second half. You know, this is all going on. This is what Arteta's doing. And the substitutions yesterday took it away from Bayern Munich. They took it away from them. They didn't have. They've got players on the bench that they can bring on and do things, but we just took it away from them. And there's nothing they could do about it. Harry Kane was playing centre half at parts of that game. He looked at it and I thought, I'll tell you what, I'll play against. I won't go near Saliba. I'll go alongside the other, and he just thought, well,
he had no shots.
Harry Kane didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing.
Kane, no shots.
And I'll tell you what's an interesting thing, and I think, I don't know how you guys feel about this, like, I think he looked at it and thought, I'm going to play Mascara against a difficult team against Bayern Munich instead of Tottenham, so he give like Nketiah the game against Tottenham. But I think now that that's a conversation who plays on Sunday in them two, because I thought he was outstanding last night.
He was, yeah.
He's come in and done like that.
Do you know what? I sat there at half time on the watch and I went, I'm so intrigued to see how this game goes, because Bayern had more possession than us. Not many teams come to the Emirates and dominate the ball, so I thought it would be interesting how Arteta deals with that second half. And like you said, the substitutions. I mean, Noni Madueke, you've got to think, when he signed for the club, people were spray painting, there was a petition. You know, a lot of us, including myself, were not convinced by the price of that deal. I'm looking at him now going, you need someone like him in your squad. He's quick, direct, got his first goal. And usually we couldn't take Saka off in a big game. You know, we took him off with 20 odd minutes to go, and we actually improved because he was tired, and you know, he gave us something else. So I thought second half was the best 45 minutes I've seen this season.
For a long while.
Considering the opposition, you know, Tottenham were a bit flimsy, you know, and we just dealt with them. But Bayern Munich, I mean, they beat PSG in the last game, in France as well. And we destroyed them in that second half. Like, Company looked like he had no answer for what we had. And, you know, we've spoken a lot about how good our defence is, but our attack was ripping them apart. Eze's passing, Madueke's pace, Martinelli comes on at the right time and scores, so if Trossard is out, he's available. And then, like you said, we've still got Gyökeres and people like that to add to it.
And I've got to say, excuse me, a big up for Mikel Merino.
Yeah.
I've got to say, the guy is just stepping up. We're not missing Gyökeres. We're not missing Havertz, and we're not missing Jesus, because this guy stepped up.
Do you think he played well last night, Marino?
Yeah, I did.
I thought he was.
I did.
I thought he was average last night.
I think he'd done a job in the way he positioned himself.
Yeah,
I think
he
it was
gets
his
in
work
good
rate, his
positions.
positioning. He's always, what I noticed, he's always like, you know, them triangles that form the pitch. He always makes himself available. If a winger's stuck and got a full back on him, he'll sprint over and offer an option. And I feel like it just helps us move the ball across that pitch in that sort of like U shape. He's good, but all positives, and if you could take away any negatives from the game or any talking points, I do think I saw who I think my first choice left back is last night. I do think Calafiori, when he came on, looked a bit more solid. I think Elise is probably one of the toughest tests you're going to get in Europe, really. Do you think there was maybe once or twice Lewis Skelly got caught a bit, or I think there was one time he got caught going into midfield and they countered. Obviously their goal, the ball over his head. Not that he was bad or anything, but I do think Calafiori looked a lot more solid against good opposition last night when he came on. Obviously the assist when he came on as well. Nothing against Miles, but obviously it's probably been a question in my head, like probably a toss of a coin between who I'd play. I think last night sort of slightly edged me towards Calafiori in them big games. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's tough, isn't it? You've not been playing week in, week out.
Yeah.
And then you're up against one of the best around.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, the guy's been on fire this season in Michael Elise. He's tricky, he's quick, he's got, you don't know what feet he's going to take it on. He did give him a bit of a tough time, you know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, their goal, by the way, was a brilliant goal. I think they said 10 different players touched the ball. Yeah, the only player who didn't touch it was Harry Kane, they said, right? But it was a great goal, and that kid they got
Carl.
up front.
I want to talk about Carl. 17 years old.
He's unreal,
Yeah.
I've seen him play before in the Bundesliga, and he's done a couple of videos before, socials, very big. And I said to my mate last night, literally first minute, I said, watch him tonight. Like, he's going to do something. Obviously, Musiala's out. He's come in. Company's put full faith in him. I think Company said in his post-match, like, I hope you English fans got to see Carl tonight. And I do think it's the little touches. You can tell, like, from his age.
that little Cruyff he did out of the ear.
I thought he was brilliant.
He looks so comfortable, and I mean, at 17 years old, if we're to give them any props, like, yeah, he definitely looks like a talent.
I felt a little bit for Skelly last night. In the watch-along, a lot of people was like, get him off at half-time, and that I was like, if you've been out of the team for like a month or 6 weeks, the last thing you want is Bayern Munich at home. Do you know what I mean? He didn't look sharp to me. You know, there was a time where Carl went past him and he's recovering. I was thinking, he looks a bit like heavy-legged, like he can't get there.
Quick though.
He is quick. But then I agree with you. And listen, again, for me, Calafiori, there was times last season I was going, I'm not totally convinced by him as a left back, but this season his level's gone up, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's been one of the best.
Never really questioned Italian defenders.
I think the key is, right, and with Miles at the moment, like, and with this whole Arsenal team, okay isn't good enough no more.
Yeah.
Right, do you know what I mean? You've got to stay in this team or be in this team or make an impression in this team. You've got to play really, really well. Now, a lot of people don't. I sort of have forgotten his performance against Madrid. You know what I mean? Atletico. It was outstanding, but he ain't played. I don't think he's played since then. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, that's 4 weeks, and you're asking him to come. And this is the problem I think Mikel's got. I think at times he's got to rotate a little bit more, not just for the players coming out, but for the players coming in. They've got to have game time. You know what I mean? And you can't ask a left back like Miles to come on for 20 minutes like the guys up front and get sharp like that. Odegaard 10-15 minutes. They're going to get sharp by playing 20 minutes. Defending is difficult and it's hard. You've got to be playing most of the game.
And especially when you're out wide, because those are the positions where you're up against the players out wide are always fast.
Yeah,
always tricky, right? And a lot of times it's one-on-one situations.
Yeah.
Whereas if you you're playing midfield, there's more people in there, there's more centre back, there's more. When you're out wide, that's the easiest position to get exposed in, isn't it? You know, he had a little bit of tough time, but he'll bounce back.
There's a friendly today, isn't there, against Man United?
I heard about that. Yeah,
maybe Gyökeres, maybe Skelly, maybe.
Yeah, Havertz apparently might be playing. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I said, if we can get those players back, it's going to be quite a scary Arsenal if you get all those players up to speed, because we've effectively been playing without a centre forward for weeks.
Yeah, and I don't think you can. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you know, forget about what that means. Is like, you know, Saka yesterday, like, you know, right, he tires out the fullback. You know what I mean? Like, because you had to be on him all the time, like, you know what I mean? And I think that you'd say the fullback probably just won that confrontation, like, you know. And then 20 minutes from the time you're bringing on pace and like they couldn't do it. So you imagine when you're going into games. You know,
finishers, isn't it?
Remember, I think these players are going to be key for us.
They mocked Mikel Arteta about, you know, when he used the word that, you know, I don't like to look at them as substitutes. I like to look at them as finishers, right? And they laughed at him for that. In other sports, that's quite a common thing. In rugby, you know, you have players that, you know, the first lot of players that come in, it's like, right, you guys go full pelt at it for about, you know, 60 minutes, right? And then we're going to bring on these guys later on to finish it off. In cricket, you have that, innit?
Yeah.
You'll have cricket where you'll have certain batsmen that they're a little bit lower down the order. Your job is to go on later on and just smash the ball all over the place, right? Other guys will sort of, you know, take their time, and then you go on and smash it. Football's becoming like that, where you got players like a Martinelli. You can come on later on. He's very dangerous, man. He's lightning quick. You know what I mean? He's good. You know, if you're tired and you're up against that, as we saw last night, you're not going to catch him. You're not going to live with him if you know, the game gets more. You know, there's more gaps, there's more spaces.
Opens up, you know what I mean?
And it's perfect for a player like a Martinelli to come on later on and be a finisher.
And Madueke, I thought.
And Madueke as well.
I thought both of them were. Well, I look at them yesterday. They were I know it sounds like they were the game changers yesterday. They won us that game. I know, like the others kept us to a certain point, and then they come on and just took over. And you know, it ain't the first time our sort of substitutions have worked.
And in Europe as well, right? The set pieces, what Arsenal have absolutely mastered, is a big weapon. I'm not too sure that Bayern knew how to handle those last night.
And I'll tell you what, couple, didn't they?
I'll tell you what it is, right, with those set pieces. It's the delivery.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Delivery, whether it be from Saka or Declan Rice, their delivery of set pieces is on point, man. Like, they are so difficult to defend.
It's the pace of the ball, innit? Because even Neuer was flapping at some of them crosses yesterday. It's like, how is he going to get to them? And the timing as well, like, when they score, you think, who scored this time? He's just Timber's running off. He's not even the biggest guy, is he? And
I don't know how they've done it, but they must do a thing where they counter something to make their move, because it's so regimented, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and so, but the delivery's perfect. But the runners and their timing is on point as well, isn't it?
I think it's just scary the way they line up in that train at the back, right, all the time, right? And you see defenders stood in, you know, but they don't know what's going to happen.
I think it's the patterns of play as well, because you're talking about their Timber running. If you think back to last season, Timber scored the exact same corner against West Ham away, and I think it's the only other corner he scored directly from. And it's the exact same. It was the exact same goal. He ran to the front post and knocked it on. It's like this so built into them, it's so regimented that they know, like, the exact, like, millimetre they've got to be stood on the pitch. But Declan said last night, I don't know if he's waffling a bit, or I'm not sure, but he said they hardly practice set pieces. He says, compared to the amount of talk that we give them about the set pieces, he said that they're so used to it now that it's something they don't work on. He might be waffling, but judging from what he said last night, is like, I think that other teams are so scared about it, it almost gives us an advantage. We don't even have to be that good, where we've built in that we go against a team, they're thinking, oh, they're so good on set pieces. It's almost, while Saka or Rice are putting that ball down, the other team is sat there thinking, like, what is going to happen here? Like, they're already panicking.
I think it's going to be a big weapon, like, especially in Europe, though, because
I think
you know, the Premier League teams are,
teams are starting
Europe,
to.
I don't think they're used to
That's especially like, I don't know, maybe like I'm sort of thinking maybe like a random Spanish team are going to be like, how the hell do we deal with this? Whereas maybe as a Premier League team, obviously you've got all like the long throws and that sort of era coming into it now, a lot more physical. But yeah, I think I agree. We're going to these other teams in Europe that maybe are not used to playing against that physical every week. Are probably going to come up against us and go like, what is going on with these guys? Like, they're absolutely everywhere, all like 6'5", they're all running everywhere. What's going on? So I do think it'll be a weapon. I did want to ask though, like your guys' opinions. Obviously, like I've said before, it's only a little one when we went invincible and we last won a title. So if we do win something this season, it'll be my first like big title. How do you guys think? Like, I always think that right now I want to celebrate. This is like the best I've ever seen us. We're smashing everyone in Europe. We're top of the league. We're top of the Champions League. But there's always that people that will say, oh yeah, but it's not May yet. It's not May yet. It's not won yet. But were you guys sat there during the Invincibles going, oh yeah, we're top of the league and unbeaten. Oh, we can't celebrate yet. We can't celebrate yet. No. Surely you were all just enjoying it as it went, like enjoy the moment. That's what I'm trying to.
I think the difference is the Invincibles, we'd already seen Arsenal win titles in previous seasons, not too far ago.
We were expecting.
This one's different because, you know, it's 20 years. 21 years.
And we suffered before.
And we've been there, you know, a couple of seasons ago it was 8 points clear. So I said this a few weeks ago on the show, it's like you're having a battle with yourself because part of you is going, are we going to win like everything? But then the other side of you is going, nah, I felt like that before, man. Until I see Odegaard lifting that trophy, I'm not going to allow myself. But I think we have to enjoy what is happening. We can't sit here and say, we're not going to be happy until we're lifting the trophy. Like, we've just beaten Tottenham, we're beating Bayern, we've got Chelsea. Every game you've got to appreciate how far we've come. You've been there in Munich interviewing people and we've been embarrassed, you know. We don't even understand what's going on with the club anymore. Where now, you know, we've got a team we can be proud of. So I think we've got to enjoy, you know, the journey as we're going on it. But hopefully we do win the trophies.
Got to enjoy it. And if you can't enjoy these last 4 days, I don't know what can you not enjoy? Like, you know, first and foremost, to smash Spurs out the park is fantastic. But if you'd have said to me at the beginning of this week, or like Saturday night, we're having a beer or something like that, and you said, you know what, we're going to smash Spurs 4-1 and then we're going to beat Bayern Munich 3-1. I'll say, like, you know what I mean, how many points you had? Do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't have, I didn't see it as being as comprehensive as it. I didn't see that. I thought we might struggle a little bit here, but we've absolutely blown these teams away. And you think about it, right? Tottenham didn't lay a glove on us. Right? They did not grab that, or they didn't want to. They've then gone 3 or 4 days later to Paris. They've laid a glove on them, like, you know what I mean? You look at Bayern Munich, they've, as you said, beaten everybody inside. Never really laid a glove on a second half, you know what I mean? How many more teams are not going to, you know, you look back at Man City, I look back at that game now, they scored the goal and then like completely, now was it forced on them that they was all back there, or was it a tactic? You know what I mean? These teams now, like Tottenham come here on Sunday with the sole intention not to get smashed. Yeah. West Ham come here. I was speaking to my mate West Ham Paul the other day. He turned around and said, we got out of the Emirates pleased to have lost 2-0 because we didn't get humiliated. So our team's coming to us now thinking, do you know what I mean? Like, we don't want to, let alone worry about getting beaten. I don't want to get like humiliated.
Yeah, no, it's been brilliant. Just before we move it on, because we've got to talk about a game at the weekend, Chelsea. Got a question for you. Eze.
I thought it was coming, Eze. Eze, what can I say?
Because we didn't see you. We didn't see you on Monday.
What can I say? Obviously,
Every Eze.
The hat trick. I mean,
and an assist last night as well.
I was at the old watch party for the North London derby, and there was a couple people saying, I think a couple people predicted a hat trick, and I was going, nah, I don't know about that one. I was like, it'd be nice to see him get a goal, and obviously, all my thing was I just want to see him celebrate in front of the Tottenham fans. But yeah, it's definitely a bit of humble pie, you know, beating there, but. I think that's what I wanted. I think that's all I was saying on the pod was he needs that moment. He needs, and I think I mentioned that Declan Rice free kick or the Man United game where he sort of just announced himself to the fans like, yes, I'm here, this is me. Yeah. And I feel that Tottenham game was it. I think there's no doubt now, especially from me, my whole thing was asking, I just want you to be the star man, win a game, grab a game, win it by yourself. And I think Tottenham, he proved me he can do that. And the nature of the goal was the finishes, and he could have had 4 or 5. Like if we're being harsh on him, like he could have had 4 or 5. There's a couple chances he missed, but last night as well, don't know if he had the best game last night, but I'll definitely allow him after Tottenham. But it's his little touches. He's starting to get a bit more. That obviously there was a touch where it came down and he sort of like hooked his foot. You could see his foot like bent when he brought it down, and then the little nutmeg on Upamecano was quality. So a bit more of that. And Eze, my apologies, my bad, as they say. My bad.
To be fair, you ain't got to apologise. You were right. We did want to see more, and he's showing it.
Yeah, and I think. Is he one of these players that he's clutch moments? Like,
he's a moment. Yeah.
And I think we ain't quite used to that.
No.
And because I think he was quiet in that first 20 minutes against Spurs, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden he just exploded. I'm with you on this, Jack. I don't know if he had a good game or a bad game. I don't care, because I sort of whatever he does.
I thought he played well.
I've let him.
Good game.
I've let him up. We can do whatever he wants at this moment in time after what he'd done on Sunday. So I do think that he's a little bit like that. But I tell you what I think. I think that he's come into this team because of these low blocks now, and he's given us something completely different. And you know what I mean? He could have. Declan Rice could have scored in the first minute against Spurs. That was his moment.
That was his pass, yeah.
You know, and you forget about those.
So much quality.
And he just gives us these little moments that just all of a sudden, you know, does anybody else make that pass for Martinelli yesterday? I don't know.
It's the type of player I pay money to watch.
100%. I think with Odegaard, when he's in the 10, he's constantly on the ball. So when Odegaard comes in, when Odegaard's playing, he's constantly on the ball. But when Eze comes in, he has quiet spells.
He drifts into those.
Sometimes you think, I haven't seen him for 10 minutes, but then he produces a moment you think, nobody else can do that. The ball to Martinelli last night, the one against City, the goal against Palace, the hat-trick. He's doing things where you say, wow, like he takes us to a different level. Yeah. And like you said, he's a player that you would pay to watch him, you know. So I think having him and Odegaard, two different type of
very different, aren't they?
Very different.
Very different.
I suppose the question now is, how does Arteta manage? Sometimes less is more, isn't it? You know, when you end up with Gyökeres, Havertz, Odegaard, Eze, how is Arteta gonna use them? Because for me now, I think Odegaard's got to wait his turn. Yeah. I don't think Eze should be getting moved or dropped. You know, it's your shirt at the moment.
Looked sharp when he came on. Even though he didn't do much, but the way he was pressing and that Odegaard, I mean, that was good to see. But obviously, guys, this weekend is Chelsea away, Stamford Bridge, right? You've got two teams going into that game that are just coming off of the back of unbelievable results. I watched the Chelsea game the other night. They played very, very well, right? I know Barcelona were down to 10 men, but you've got to give it to Maresca. He got his tactics right as well. He went with like a false nine, playing Neto, used the speed to constantly get behind their high line, it was like watching Tottenham, the way Barca played with that high line, even when they went down to 10 men. I've seen two managers this week who just stick to their philosophy no matter what. One Man United on Monday with Amorim, you know, even though our team's down to 10 men,
that was good,
sticking to his stupid philosophy. And then again, this guy, Hansi Flick, like, bro, you got 10 men. You got to be a bit more solid. They were just wide open. But give Chelsea their dues. They really played well. And 3-0 against Barcelona, very impressive. Cucurella had Lamine Yamal in his pocket. He played outstanding. Caicedo was outstanding. They were very good, right? So you've got two teams coming into this game this weekend who've just had two unbelievable results. I actually think our results better because I think Bayern are much better than Barca, and that plays out when you see Barca's record so far in the Champions League. They've lost 2, drawn 1. They're not even in the top 8. They got to get their act together to qualify. But this game, first versus second, both have had a positive result, very good result. Both of them will be going into that game with their chests out saying, I mean, something's got to give.
I think
if we win this game, 9 points clear of Chelsea. If we were to lose the game, they're 3 points behind us. It's a massive, massive game.
Yeah, I think it's
Where
the
you
biggest
guys
game.
at?
I think it's the biggest game of the season so far. I mean, I will happily say on the pod, after Chelsea, if we beat Chelsea, I'll happily say I think we're going to win the league. I think
this early.
I'll happily. I've not said it once this whole podcast. I think Chelsea away, the form they're in. Obviously they beat Barcelona, but I think the league they haven't conceded in 3 games now. Obviously I think they're Wolves and Burnley, a bit lower opposition, but they're scoring goals. Caicedo's looked immense. There's murmurs Cole Palmer could be back. I don't know if there's a bit of mind games from Maresca, but there's murmurs he could be back as well. So they've been doing this without their best player. I think Maresca referred to him as their version of Haaland, their main man.
Esteval guy.
The amount Esteval looks like an absolute wonder kid.
Was brilliant the other night.
We forget about the depth they've got in terms of like they've got about 6 £50 million wingers. They've got the Gittins and all this stuff. So their rotation for the rest of the season is going to be there to keep up. I mean, going 9 points clear or 7-9 points clear of Defence City, etc. Yeah, I just don't see anyone catching us. I generally don't see anyone catching us, and I think because we've still got to have Liverpool will come to the Emirates. I know we've got to go to the Etihad, but Chelsea will be coming to the Emirates. I think the way the fixtures in the return run will end up, I'm confident to say if we beat Chelsea, I think we'll win the league.
We've got Aston Villa afterwards, which is another tough game. We've got Brentford and Aston Villa. I think if you're right, I think if we beat Chelsea and then beat Aston Villa, I think. Yeah, I look at Arsenal at this moment, and I think we're the best team in it. You know, but I look at the game on against Chelsea and Barcelona. Like, you know, they're all going. Newcastle should have beaten them by 3 or 4. Like, you know, they didn't take their chances. In the end, Barcelona come out. You know, I don't think Barcelona, they're a little bit vulnerable, but Chelsea, all fair play to them, done that. But I think that, you know, this Chelsea lot, you know, we're not, you know, you hear them saying, oh, we're not quite title contenders at the moment, trying to play it down. Mighty Chelsea, this team that I reckon is there, all their fans trying to play it down and all that. Why are you not coming out with all the money that they've spent? Why are you not coming out saying we'll give you a go, like, you know? Oh, we want to stop Arsenal, like, yeah, of course you do, like, you know. I think this is when we talked about the Invincibles. When we went to Chelsea, we went there and we beat them. We went to Liverpool and we beat them. We've got to go to these teams and beat. Like, we've gone to Man United this season and won. I do believe that if Arsenal are to win the league, you've got to go and beat your rivals, home and away, sometimes. One of them. Yeah. One of them. And this is the perfect opportunity for us, because I think as good as Chelsea are, I think we're better.
Yeah, I'm with you. Do you know what? If we do beat them, I don't think it's over, because I actually still think Manchester City are the team that come the end of the season will be closest to it. 7 points to Pep is not, you know, a massive difference when you've still got to go to the Etihad as well.
Coming up, they've got winnable games.
Yeah, they've got Leeds at home, I think, this week, and Brentford, yeah.
They've got a couple of...
so they probably win their next few.
Sunderland, I think, is the other one.
Listen, I expect us to win this game, by the way. Like, I think this is the hardest game of the week. You know, we were saying at the start of the week, that Chelsea game, I thought Bayern Munich might be harder than it was, but in the end we kind of dismissed them. But I think this will be a proper feisty London derby, and I think in their dressing room they won't have the attitude that the fans have got. They'll be sitting there going, they are in the title race. Like, their midfield's £200 million plus with Enzo and Caicedo. These aren't some little, you know, players that they've got there. But I think last night we sent out a message to Europe. I think this is send the message to the league, because we went to Liverpool, and you look at the way Liverpool have been smashed.
Scandalous.
It still feels like we should have left there with at least a point.
Should have gone at them.
We should have gone at them. The City game, again, obviously we didn't really go at them. So I think, but we have changed since then. We beat Newcastle, we beat Atletico, we beat Bayern, beat Tottenham. So I think this is the big away game that we need to go and win. Yeah. But I think we're favourites for this game again. I think we're better than Chelsea.
Yeah, I think, listen, it's going to be a tough game. But we've got a good record there. We drew there last year. We've won there we haven't lost there for a while. You know what I mean? Draw wouldn't even be a terrible result. But if we could win it, that'd be significant. And I'm starting to look at the rest of the season, and I'm looking at it and thinking, if we could go there and win this game, that would mean that, and then obviously we've got Villa, like you said, away, but we're starting to tick off those tough away games.
Great point.
It could be before Christmas, right? And when I look at tough away games throughout a season, you know, we would have done Liverpool, we would have done Chelsea, Man United, Newcastle. These are tough games, and Villa away, and obviously Chelsea away. you get into the new year, if we can be up there and get into the new year, and then you look at it and see the real tough away games left are Tottenham away, where we've won the last couple of seasons, and then the Etihad, where we've drawn. We haven't lost there. You start to then look at it and say, whew. So this is an important period between now and the end of Christmas, because I look at those two games, Chelsea and Villa. At any time in the season, you look at those, say those are two tough away assignments.
Yeah.
If we can come through those, and with the other away games, we've already been to Anfield and all those places, and be still up there, and still, I really do start to fancy us, because, you know, a lot of those teams now, they've got to come to us. They've got to come to the Emirates. We have been turning the Emirates into a bit of a fortress this season. So, and why we've got to be confident going there. You know what I mean? We've just beaten Bayern. I hear what you're saying when people talk about, you know, Chelsea, what they've been doing recently, but we just beat a team that have not lost the game all season. We ended that, people forget that, we ended that record last night. Oh. Why can't we go to Stamford Bridge, where, as I said, we've got a good record, and win that game? We won't be open like what I saw Barca play the other night. There is no way Arsenal going to play in that manner.
I think the best thing is as well, like, we are probably used to the past couple of seasons that we know we have to be perfect. If we don't win every game, Man City or Liverpool are going to win every game, so we're going to drop. This is probably the first season where we know if our main challengers are a City and a Chelsea, if Liverpool are so far behind now, I could put money on that Chelsea and City are going to lose games this season. They're not going to win. No matter what Pep does, I think the squad he's got at the moment, the defenders he's got, they've not really had any massive, bar Rodri, they've not had any massive injury issues yet. They get that one injury to a Haaland or an important midfielder, Ruben Diaz even, I think they'll drop points. And then it comes to a thing, if City lose another game and we go 10 points clear, then we've got so much margin. We could end up going to the Etihad and losing and it not being the end of the world, whereas we've been in positions the last season where we had to win there. And if we didn't win, that's it, we'd drop behind points. I think we just got to focus this Christmas period where you've got games every few days, just try and bank as many points as we can. So if it does come to it, we come to the end of the season, the pressure's on, we're going to win our first league title in 20 years. We've got a bit of wiggle room where we can go, we might get a random Declan Rice injury, like touch wood, that don't happen. But towards the end of the season, we'll have a bit of a point barrier to sort of keep us up there, as I think we've not had that through any of the other seasons. We've always been chasing or only a couple points ahead. I think the biggest point lead we had was 7-8 points, but Man City still had 2 games in hand at that point in time. So it's the first time we've got a bit of a gap. So I just think bank it and rely on the fact that I don't think Chelsea or City are perfect. I think they're going to keep dropping points.
And that's where the squad comes in for me, because if you look at this week there, you know, I think he sat down and he said, I can't play Haaland every single game. Right, I've got to. So what games can I rest in? Like Champions League, there's a little bit more. If it happens, it happens. They might have to play another couple of games, but they're not out of it. But if they was to say, like, I don't rest Haaland for a Premier League game and they lose, they're out of the title. So he's got to keep going. But Haaland now has got to play 15 games up until Christmas, you know what I mean, like, or around January, and you cannot afford to leave him out the side. I think that is with Chelsea at certain times. You know, like they've done very, very well, their manager, by the way, leaving out Caicedo against Burnley and all that, like, you know. But now they're going to have to do that. I think with Arsenal, I think we can go, right, well, okay, we can leave Saka out against Brentford. We can do this and do that, and I think that the squad now over this next 2 months is where I think Arsenal.
As you're talking about leaving out this weekend, it's going to be interesting. Mosquera or Hincapie then? Which one of them plays in that game?
That is
so,
because honestly, I'd say they were equally as good as each other in those 2 performances. I always said that I felt Hincapie was the one that would come in for Gabriel, because similar profile, left-footed, aggressive, he's a leader as well. You might need leadership at a place like Stamford Bridge, so I'm leaning slightly towards Hincapie personally, but Mosquera was faultless yesterday as well, so I don't know, it's literally a flip of the coin, but I'd probably just go with Hincapie personally.
I'm going to go Mascara because I think that he, you know, like against Tottenham, I felt Nketiah was outstanding, but he didn't have a lot to play up against. Like, you know, where I felt last night that was a bigger test, and he went with Mascara. So I'm going to go Mascara.
I personally thought Mascara was quality against Bayern. I thought it was one of his best games for us, but I'd go Nketiah mainly because I think he's a bit quicker, and I think Chelsea's main threat is probably their pace on the wings. They've got a lot of options there. So I think, and also I'm not sure whether they'll play a false nine or obviously João Pedro's played a bit of a false nine before. Neto's played there. I feel like dragging the centre back out. I think Nketiah's got that aggression to just like jump in, win the ball, and get back. And I think he's got a bit of that pace. So that'd be like tactically thinking why I'd go for him. But personally, I think Mascara had the better of the two games in my opinion. But for this game, tactically, I think Nketiah just mainly for his pace.
Yeah, I think Nketiah just for the balance. Just because he's left-footed.
It's a big thing.
Yeah, so I think I'd go him. Does Odegaard come in?
That's a tough one.
Not for me. No.
In place of who?
Eze?
No.
No chance.
No. I'm just asking, all right?
No. I will say this: there is a spot available now.
Yeah. On
the left-hand side, so you could put Eze out there and bring in Odegaard if you want. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying it's an option.
Can I say something?
Martinelli always turns up for Chelsea.
What we've seen in the last week, and I know we're putting into a small space, but we have not seen Odegaard do what Eze has done in this last week. He's actually performed at a ridiculous level. If I'm looking at them performances, I'm saying I want you to continue building on that.
It's got to be Eze.
Putting him on the left now and saying, put a shift in on the left with Calafiori inverting. And listen, I know Odegaard's the captain, and Arteta's probably thinking, how can I get him back in the team? But I also think he's got to kind of show Odegaard that you're not a guaranteed selection in this team, and Eze's playing at such a level at the moment.
I guess the argument could be that Eze's not used to this many games. It's probably the first time in his career he's playing Europe. Maybe a resting factor in that.
I'm not. But we're in November, man. The man's got to play.
I think Brentford there'd be a couple of changes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Scored that hat-trick, man. He's got to play, man.
Come on, he's on fire.
And he's a guy. I agree with what you said. On the edge of the ball, I was saying that the other day, as great as Odegaard is, right, I don't think he would have scored those goals because he would have they would have come to him on the edge of the box, he'd be passing it off. Yeah. My man's shaking shots, man.
Bro, by the way, sorry to interrupt you because obviously we're talking about Eze's performance. Even last night, he played like a little through ball down the right. I think it was to Saka or Timber when they crossed it in. He just has them little moments where you're like, he lifts you off your seat.
Who are you playing in on the left end?
Martinelli, if Trossard's not fit.
Martinelli, if Trossard's not fit, yeah. Martinelli does well against.
Because it was
he always has a good game against Chelsea.
It was interesting that Trossard went off and he put on Madueke though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe old club.
Nani looked better on the right though.
Yeah, I always think he's better on the right. On the left, man, Martinelli always has a good game against Chelsea.
Do you think Saka needs a break at some stage?
Not
maybe Brentford, not this.
Brentford, you could start Madueke. For this game, it's got to be. I mean, you're up against Cucurella. That guy's impressed me, man.
Been very, very good.
Last season, he was excellent. You're Marty get a kick, and he's actually done that to Saka before in the past as well. He's good, that guy. He's very underrated. You've got to have your best player in there, and then later on, you can get on
I think Madueke just for the point to prove thing. I think Havertz has had really good games against Chelsea in the past. We've obviously had Trossard always has a good game against Brighton. There's them players that Eze scoring against Palace. There's them things that I think are a bit scripted, and I feel like Madueke coming and scoring the winner at Stamford Bridge. Yeah. Sort of like I can see it happening. So I'd like to see him get minutes, but you can't drop Saka.
What we predictions times because. Obviously, I got 3-1 the other night, and
he actually
tried to claim it.
I actually said 3-1. Kenya might have.
No, we all went 2-1. You went 2-0, so none of us got that.
None of us
2-0 judges, what are you going to do this week?
I might.
You're still top, Jack. So where you
going to go? Chelsea away. 2-1. I'm going to stick it with 2-1. I think they'll get a goal, but. Yeah, always got to back us to win, 2-1.
I'm going to think there's going to be goals. It's 3-1 I'm going.
3-1? Do you know what? I'm going 2-0. I'm going 2-0, mate. I think
reverse psychology.
Yeah, I think we'll keep them out.
I'm going 1-0.
was he going for a tie?
Scrappy
Tight
Madweke
game.
winner.
Scrappy 1-0.
Tight game, set piece.
Oh, a lot of different predictions.
1-0, I'm going 1-0.
But make sure you got that production. He's gone 1-0. Likes to try and change it halfway through.
We got any? I don't know if we got any voice notes, or should we get? Actually, let's get our comments first. Then we'll do the voice notes afterwards.
Shall I go first on the?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, because I think it's. I've got two here, like you know.
Oh, I've got a good one. I hope you don't read.
Lee is telling the truth. Greater Anglia was a mess today, like you know. So thank you for that. I can't read it because I ain't got my glasses on. Hold on, let's see if I can.
Lying, you know. Greater what was a miss?
Greater Anglia, the train.
Oh, the trains.
That's your burner account.
Lucian Gill, 61, 67, and my mum, Mrs. Judges. There you go. Right.
I've got one. Lee Kong, he said, he was going for you. He said, Robbie, come Wednesday, Harry Kane will make you eat humble pie for your remark that Spurs is a championship team. And that didn't quite work out, did it? The only thing he was eating was the Emirates pitch. You know what I mean? When Rice had it. His name's Lee Kong 99.
Yeah, what a name.
Yeah.
Eddie Holland, 5867, he says, some team we have, lads, from back to front. Serious leaders, ballers, and players that are passionate about our club. Love having the Judge and C unit on the same pod each week. Great chemistry between the two. Big up to Kenya, she knows her ball. And Don, you're all right too.
So basically what she's saying.
And he says,
Kenya knows more than you. Is what she's saying. I like it.
And he says, come on you Gunners, from Sydney, Australia.
Oh,
Big him up, man.
Big up, there was a load of Australian fans at the game last night. I did an interview with them.
Australians at the moment.
Because of the cricket.
They won the first test.
Do you know Paul? You know, like our mate Paul. As
Yeah.
soon as it finished, he's on the phone, isn't he? Like, you know what I mean?
Paul's a nice guy. Man.
Oh yeah, Paul from Tour. Yeah.
He's only giving it.
Well, they have every right to,
Oh dear,
You know,
oh, dear.
but-
Come on, England, don't let me down again. Like
Big up to the Aussie Gooners, man. I love those comments.
Yeah.
I got a comment here, obviously wasn't on the last episode. There was a comment here that maybe I did watch, and it made me giggle a bit from Kaner Attack, saying Jack looks a bit different today. Don't know why, it made me giggle a bit. But yeah, big up Kenya.
Well, Kenya didn't have an out. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Kelly did all right. She was
did good,
getting like loads of
Listen,
compliments.
I've got to say,
She's very good.
she's very, very knowledgeable. I don't know where she gets it from.
No, I don't.
But she's a very good speaker as well, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I was actually, you know, I don't know, but when Robbie's talking, sometimes you have to give me a little nod because I'm falling asleep, like, you know? When she's talking, I'm sort of captivated by it. Like, she's very, very good. She knows what she's talking
Yeah,
about.
she does. You know what? I want to win the league for people like Kenya, like you. You know what I mean? Just
Never seen
these
it.
young fans, man, who've never experienced what we've experienced.
I want to win it for me bloody. I want it.
No, I want it for myself, but they've never experienced
No.
it like we've experienced it. The parades and all that. Like, it's a long way to go, but I'd love it for that. Have we got any voice notes that we can listen to for this week? And remember, if you've got voice notes, send them in to us. We want to hear from as many of you as possible. The QR code is on the screen. Also, there's a number on the screen as well. Get involved. We want to hear from as many of you as absolutely possible. Keep them short, keep them brief, but send them in. Let's see what we've got this week.
Good day, Robbie, and the Fourever Arsenal panel. Guys, firstly, I must say, absolutely love the show, love the new format. My name is Jeremy, sending you a voice note from Cape Town, South Africa. Guys, being the biggest gooner since a very, very young age, I think I was about 7 when I chose the Arsenal in South Africa. Guys, the other thing I wanted to tell you now is, I know no Spurs fans. I currently work in a company with plus minus 1,000 employees, and honestly, guys, there's not one Tottenham fan here. This is just, I just want you to let that sink in. This is how small they are. Brilliant performance from the Arsenal. Brilliant performance from Let It All Work Out. Oh. Guys, keep up the good work, amazing work. Come on, you Gunners. And it is, honestly, guys, now it is our time. I have no doubt, not one bone in my body of a doubt that Arsenal will win the league. And that is all I want to say. Come on, you Gunners. Come on, you Gunners, in Dicey lifestyle.
I love that accent.
That's a great one. I thought he was doing the tie with the brilliant.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
That's a great one, man.
That's a great
I love that clip.
It's great when you hear that from like South Africa, like passionate as what we are. It's fantastic.
Not one fan in the company. You know, it's really funny because like last
I'd
year.
like to work for that company.
Last year when I was in Kenya, remember that remember the cup final, the Europa League final, and me and Cecil, we were going, yeah, man, desperately want United, even though we don't like United, desperately want United to win. We don't want Tottenham winning it. But everybody in Kenya was like, no, we'd rather Tottenham win it. They go, obviously we understand, you know, they're in the vicinity of North London, the rivalry and that. But they go, in Kenya, they go, we don't know any Tottenham fans. There are none here. There's just a sprinkling of them. But they go, but there are loads of United fans, and we're never going to hear the end of it if they win the Europa League final. So it's a different dynamic, especially in Africa. There's not many Tottenham fans.
It is funny because you know, when you talk to American fans or Australian fans, you know, I was speaking to Paul Batt, you know, have they got the same hatred? That's a tough word to use, isn't it? But you know what I mean with Arsenal and Spurs, where they're out there so far away, but it's built in. The mechanism's built in for them as well, like you know. So, but
like for instance, this week, Lee, say for instance in Africa, in America, probably in Australia as well, this will be a bigger derby for those fans against Chelsea
than it is
because there's loads of Chelsea fans in America, for instance. And in Africa, there's loads of Chelsea fans. So they've got a big amount of fans because of players like SCN and Drogba and that in the past. So that is going to be a bigger, probably for a lot of those fans over there, that's a bigger game for them, a game that they'd rather win more than even Tottenham because of just, they've got mates who are Chelsea fans. So it's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's like us with City. I remember when City first started winning titles, and I was like, if it was City or United or Liverpool, I was always going, I hope City win it. Just because I don't know it.
You don't know anyone.
It's a bit different now, but yeah.
Still don't know any. All right, let's get a next voice note.
Hi guys, big up you guys. It's Tommy here, speaking from Canada. Big win for the Gunners tonight against Bayern Munich. Big win for us tonight. And big up every single one of you on the pod. Big up Robbie, big up Curtis, big up Lee, big up Jack, big up every single one of you on the pod. And big win tonight. And you know, on to Sunday against Chelsea. And I have a question for you guys. If Gyökeres is fit on Sunday, would you guys start him against Chelsea, or would you still start Mikel Merino? Big up to every single one of you guys. Bless.
Good question. That is a tough question.
That's a great question.
I wouldn't start, you know, just because he's been out of a hamstring injury for 4 weeks. I actually think Merino, just like I said with Eze, you know, I think Marino's in possession of that shirt. And listen, I love Gyökeres. We were going crazy when we signed him, but I don't think Marino deserves to be dropped as of yet. And Gyökeres, after being out for a month with a hamstring injury, might need to come on first, and then maybe next week you can start him. So I wouldn't start him straight away.
I'm with you. I think he's not 100% fit at this moment of time.
What if he is though?
No, well, I don't think you can be 100% fit if you've been out for 4 weeks. I think you're going to have like Odegaard has, like Martinelli, like Madueke is getting at least 10-15 minutes. So if he's available, he's definitely on the bench for me. And then coming on with 20, you know, imagine him coming on with 20 minutes to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so hopefully I'd be very, very happy and confident if he is on the bench to give him a run out in the last 20 and then ease him back in against Brentford and Aston Villa, you know. I think eventually he's going to be back.
Yeah, he will
in
start
at some stage, but I think maybe Chelsea's just bit too big and a bit too early for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't start him either. Same thing. I also think that bringing him on with 20 to go, especially when tired legs, I think he can be a bit of a steam engine there going forward. But I think his name was Tony. Thanks for all the love, but there was one thing I wanted to mention. I recognise that beep in your voice note from somewhere. I know your fire alarm needs batteries, so please put some batteries in your fire alarm, because I recognise that beep. But thanks for all the love. And yeah, Gyökeres on the bench for me.
All right, I'm going to be different, right? If he's fit, right? That's the question: is how fit is he? But you say he's fit and up to speed. I would start him, right? Those centre backs for Chelsea are vulnerable, right? And with his physicality and that, I would start him. I think he would give them a lot of trouble. Whereas Marino is a different, he's false nine, going to be. But I'd like to see those, him playing and ruffling up, your centre backs that they've got there, because I think that's an area where they're not super strong in. So but that's the thing, is how fit is he? Yeah. If he's not fully up to speed, well then you stick with what you got. But if he was, I would start him. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah. We'll wait and see what the outcome is. But guys, really enjoyed today. It's been brilliant. Brilliant. Listen, it's a massive game at the weekend, and Sunday kickoff, of course. If we can win that, we're going to win it all, guys. But listen, thanks very much, guys. I've really enjoyed it. Thanks to you guys out there as well. Please keep those comments coming in. We absolutely love receiving all your comments. We're actually I'm thinking that we should do a show where we go through a load of comments, and so maybe a special as we get towards Christmas or something like that, or one that we would do a load of voice notes, some sort of special like that. So look out for that. But listen, we love the way you're interacting with the show. Keep that going, and thanks, Jack. Yeah, good to be back, guys. Lee, yeah, great to have you back, and thanks to you guys, and we'll be back. Chelsea at the weekend. Come and keep it going, Arsenal.